What is up, awesome people of the internet? Guys, we had a wild ride yesterday, and we're going to talk all about it. I'm going to give you our context. So hopefully we come out the other side just kind of knowing what's going on and actually knowing what to expect going forward. So I want to lay out my point in this video. My point, I'm going to say it at the beginning. The Phoenix Mercury have completely changed their strategy and are looking to not get better in the draft, but get better by putting vets with other proven vets. All right, let's get into it. So there was a massive trade that happened yesterday, and the massive trade involved who I would argue is one of the best players in the WNBA, and that is Alyssa Thomas. Alyssa Thomas played for the Connecticut Sun her entire career. She's a 5-time All-Star. She is someone who was on the U.S. Olympic team this past year in Paris. She is someone who can give you a triple-double just about any night. Does she score a lot of points? No. But she is someone who impacts the basketball on both the offensive and defensive, and one of the best defenders in the WNBA. Also, one of the best passers, one of the best floor generals, and she stands at 6'2" and is a forward. She plays that point forward role, and she does it with perfection in a lot of ways. So Alyssa Thomas, the end-all be-all for the Connecticut Sun. The only reason why the Connecticut Sun was really good, well, one of the reasons, it was her, it was Brianna Jones, and it was DeWanna Bonner. But anyway, that player, that Alyssa Thomas, wanted to leave Connecticut. She talked about it. We recently even saw her talk about a little bit about it in Unrivaled, where she was just talking about the amenities that Unrivaled had, and it's like, hey, we don't have that in Connecticut. Alyssa Thomas, you no longer have to share a rec center gym with a birthday party because you are headed to the brand spanking new Phoenix Mercury facility. And it's not just you. Your buddy, Ty Harris, your starting point guard, Ty Harris, is going to be along for the journey as well. So Alyssa Thomas and Ty Harris get dealt to the Phoenix Mercury. And in return, the Connecticut Sun receive Natasha Cloud, Beck Allen, and the number 12 pick in the 2025 draft. All right. So let's get into talking about this trade. So in my opinion, this trade made the most sense for Phoenix. Now, I previously talked, I believe in 2 separate videos, I talked about Alyssa Thomas going to Phoenix and how I thought it made a lot of sense. And it does. But that required, some changes for Phoenix. One, Brittany Griner's gone. Separate video about that. So watch that. I'm not going to get into that. 2, Diana Taurasi is either likely going to retire before the season starts or will retire right after the season's over. So that era is basically officially over. You have a brand new coach in Nate Tibbetts who is looking to, coach some vets. And you also have an ownership group that heavily favorites veterans over rookies. And I believe this trade is a way that Phoenix is like, you know what? We're going to get a lot faster. And we are going to enable further bully ball in the WNBA. And the reason why I say this team got faster. So some of y'all may be like, they got faster? What? Brittany Griner's gone, but Alyssa Thomas is not a spring chicken, right? Ty Harris is not necessarily a spring chicken. How are they getting faster? Well, Alyssa Thomas is a player who runs. She will run that floor, and she will find the open man, and she will score in transition, or get it to another player who is scoring in transition. Like Alyssa Thomas, yes, she's in her 30s, but she is someone who can get a team moving. And if you want another example of that, look at what she's doing in 3x3. If y'all have not watched Alyssa Thomas during her career in Connecticut, watch her in 3x3 and just see how she can move that basketball. And the reason why I say that Phoenix is embracing the older players, because Phoenix knows what the older player wants. What does the older player want? They want to be taken care of. They want a nice practice facility. They want really good food made by the food staff, right? They want the best available recovery treatments because they're older. They want all of that. And Phoenix, they just unveiled last season, they unveiled their new practice facility, and it looks good. They showed it off during WNBA All-Star, and you had all these vets being like, man, maybe I never had a true locker room, right? Maybe I never was able to have a gym, practice facility gym that was specifically for the team and not shared with something else. And so with Phoenix doing that, I think in a lot of ways it was an acknowledgement that, like, hey, we want to be the premier destination for veteran players because we know what they want. They want nice stuff. It started with the Las Vegas Aces, in terms of making a facility that people really want to be in, right? The New York Liberty got that down. The Seattle Storm got it down. The Phoenix Mercury now have it down in terms of what do players want? What do some of the best players in the WNBA want? They want nice stuff. They want amenities. They want things that cannot be offered from other teams, right? It's not just all about the salary. It's about everything that goes alongside the team. And it seems like that is what the Phoenix Mercury are doing. Now, this team is going to get bigger. Right now, for the Phoenix Mercury, at this exact moment, though the trade will become final on February 1st when Alyssa Thomas signs her core deal. That trade's going to go through on February 1st. It's been reported now. Shout out to Howard Megdal from the Next, who I believe, at least I saw, got the story first. Now, the Phoenix Mercury, who do they currently have on their roster? They currently have Sophie Cunningham, Natasha Mack, Alyssa Thomas, and Ty Harris. That's who they currently have on their roster. Dinah Taurasi is an unrestricted free agent. She could re-sign with the team for another year, or maybe not. The team also has Celeste Taylor, Kiki Herbert-Harrigan, and Amy Atwell on. They have them as reserve free agents, and so it's likely that at the very least, Kiki Herbert-Harrigan and Celeste Taylor will re-sign with the Phoenix Mercury come next year, come February 1st, I should say. But this Phoenix Mercury team is going to add way more talent and is going to become Connecticut Sun 2.0. Because not only is the Phoenix Mercury bringing over Ty Harris and Alyssa Thomas, I also believe that DeWanna Bonner is coming to the Phoenix Mercury. Why, do you ask? Why do I believe that? Well, one is because DeWanna Bonner is an unrestricted free agent. She can go wherever she wants. And the Connecticut Sun had already cored Alyssa Thomas, so there's nothing they can do to keep DeWanna Bonner unless she just wants to stay there. So that's one. Two, DeWanna Bonner, it has been reported that DeWanna Bonner is currently in talks with the Phoenix Mercury. Three, in a lot of ways, DeWanna Bonner and Alyssa Thomas are a package deal. Four, DeWanna Bonner started her career with the Phoenix Mercury and had a great time in Phoenix. She loved Phoenix. So those are my four reasons as to why I believe that DeWanna Bonner is coming to the Phoenix Mercury. It just all makes sense. And also, five, if you have Alyssa Thomas, not just the fact that the AT and DeWanna are kind of package deals in a lot of ways, but if you have Alyssa Thomas on your roster, you are now saying that this team is Alyssa Thomas. And shouldn't you make the best case for her to be successful on the court? And we've seen a crazy amount of success of her on the court when she was with Connecticut. Who was on the team? DeWanna Bonner. So five. That's another reason why I believe DeWanna Bonner is going to the Phoenix Mercury. Also, it has been reported that Satara Sabl is in talks with the Phoenix Mercury as well. Now, Satara Sabl is a player who said that she is done with Dallas. She is not going to be on with Dallas anymore. She has been cored by the Dallas Wings, and they are actively shopping her around to see what they can get. And with a player like a Satara Sabl, she's a great talent. She is a fantastic talent in the WNBA. And the question is, okay, well, what happens next? What happens next? for this player. I do think if Satara Sabl is healthy, she helps to make an already good team that much closer to being a true contender. If she's healthy, the key is, can she actually be healthy for a full season? She's done it before, and she, was definitely in the category of one of the best players in the WNBA when she was healthy 2 seasons ago, I believe in 2013. She's a fantastic player for the Dallas Wings. Healthy. But an unhealthy Satara Sabl is not a very effective Satara Sabl. So the Phoenix Mercury are in talks with Satara Sabl. Here's the thing, though. Satara Sabl has been cored by the Dallas Wings. Now, it is my understanding that a team can have multiple cored players if it is via a trade. A team can only core one player at a time, but if they're getting the player through a sign and trade, they could have multiple core players. So you're bringing in a player like a Alyssa Thomas, and then also you are in talks with either Satara Sabl, well, you're in talks with both. You will be in talks with both Satara Sabl and DeWanna Bonner. Technically, they haven't met yet, but they will be meeting. Satara will be meeting with the representatives of the Phoenix Mercury as well as DeWanna Bonner. And here's the thing. I see DeWanna Bonner working out way more than I do Satara Sabl, though I do think they can work together on the same team. That would require DeWanna Bonner coming off the bench, which honestly, at this point in her career, I believe she's 37 years old. At this point in her career, I think she'd be totally fine with that. And they probably have to not pay her as much because they have Kalia Copper on a huge contract. They will have Alyssa Thomas on a core contract. They will possibly have Satara Sabl on a core contract. So, DeWanna Bonner's not going to get paid a lot, but I think she'd probably be fine with it. And they're going to rock out like that. And they're going to try to fill the rest of their gaps with proven vets on vet minimums, on training camp contracts. And then after the WNBA draft is over, I think they're going to wait and see who gets cut from the various teams and maybe pick some players up and rock out like that. So that's personally my thought for the Phoenix Mercury. And if y'all are like, wait, I thought you said that that Phoenix is not going to focus on younger players and they're just going to go for older. They are. Here's why. So the Phoenix Mercury do not have a first round pick now because they traded away that number 12 pick. They do have a second round pick. They have the number 16 pick in the draft. And guys, I would not be surprised. I would not put it past the Phoenix Mercury, Matt Ishbia, Nate Tibbetts, and the rest of them guys. I would not be surprised if they made the decision to trade that number 19 pick. And if they're going to get Satara Sabl from the Dallas Wings, they're going to have to trade that pick. So if Satara is coming to the Phoenix Mercury, Phoenix is trading away the second round pick in this year's draft. They likely will have to make some more concessions when it comes to future draft picks in 2026 as well to make possibly that work. And if they're going to get Satara Sabl, they're probably going to have to part with a Sophie Cunningham, likely. If I'm Dallas and I am doing just a 2-team trade with the Phoenix Mercury, I'm asking for Sophie Cunningham. I'm asking for the number 19 pick in the draft for 2025. I'm also asking for 2 future picks, two future draft picks in the future. That's what I'm asking for Satara Sabl. And honestly, that's probably not going to be enough for Dallas. I think they probably want even more than that. So it may have to be like a 3-team trade. I feel like that could be the only real way for Satara to end up in Phoenix. I mean, because realistically, Dallas really wants a top 10 pick for Satara Sabl. So that's the thing right there. That's the thing. So yeah, that's my thoughts. And also, guys, one more domino that has yet to drop, which will be dropping soon, is a thing that can complete the sun rising again in Phoenix. Y'all like that pun? That's a nice pun, right? Anyway, the thing that would complete that is Brianna Jones joining the Phoenix Mercury. Guys, Brianna Jones is a unrestricted free agent. Okay? Unrestricted free agent for Brianna Jones. She is a player who has really been a part of the core for the Connecticut Sun for years now. It's been her, it's been DeWanna, it's been Alyssa. The reason why Connecticut has been so good is because of those three players, and then just various pieces that they add in every now and then. She has spent her entire career with the Connecticut Sun, and she's been doing her thing, averaging in her total career, she's averaged 10 points a game, shooting 55% from the field. Last season alone, she shot 13.7 points a game on 53% shooting. She is a player who can just be your starting center. She plays good defense. She is someone who can score, and she's efficient. Put her in the game and watch her work, right? Put her in the game and watch her work. I could absolutely see them making the decision to bring in Brianna Jones. And if they decide that they actually don't want to trade for a player like Alyssa Sabl, I could see a situation where at that number 19th pick, they try and hope that somebody, a tall player, ends up getting dropped all the way down. I'm thinking like a player like a Sedona Prince. I'm thinking a player like that who I think it's likely that Sedona goes higher in the draft. However, maybe she falls, right? Maybe a Ayoka Lee or something like that. A player who can fall mid to late second round and possibly get picked up, and they can come off the bench for Brianna Jones. Because Brianna Jones is not very tall, right? She's 6'3". She's not very tall, but she is pretty young, 29. So yeah, that's my thoughts right there. I really could see a situation where Brianna Jones, Alyssa Thomas, Ty Harris, and DeWanna Bonner are just switching from the Sun to the Mercury. And it makes sense. I mean, Sun, Mercury, like sun rises again in Phoenix. Like I think it all makes sense. But anyway, those are my thoughts on this one. And I was trying to walk it out so y'all like understood my thesis in terms of this Connecticut Sun team getting a lot older quicker. Or not a lot older, but really, really going into that older vet mindset of that's the type of player we want to get. And because of our amenities, we're going to get them. Even if we don't have to pay top dollar, which I do think they're going to get a discount on getting DeWanna Bonner just to join because just of what they have to offer. So those are my thoughts right there. But I will say, guys, I kind of feel bad for a player like a Tosh Cloud, because Tosh Cloud, when the Phoenix Mercury unveiled their new facility, Tosh Cloud was over the moon. She was going crazy about it. She loved Phoenix, and I'm sure she's not very happy to go from all of that in 2024 to sharing a gym in 2025. That's not great, but story for another day. Anyway, guys, thank y'all so much for rocking with me. Hit that like button, hit that comment, write a comment, and tell a neighbor, tell a friend that Quita Loves Sports is on the internet talking about women's hoops. So tap in, guys. All right, see y'all tonight. DePaul versus UConn. All right, see you guys. Bye-bye.